There are a lot of television series that have come and gone. Now, it is said that there are only so many stories that can exist. So maybe it's time to look at some of these series that could use a refreshment. Now, just to let you know, we are looking at series that have not had a remake or reboot recently. So Knight Rider, for instance, is not going to make it to the list as it had a remake in 2008. We are instead focusing on shows that have not been touched in a while. My name's Ollamh, and welcome to 5 Count Friday.
You think you know me? You think you can catch me? You think you can trust me? Nobody knows the secret that I keep deep in my soul.
Set in the nearby future, California's Metro City is under constant attack from various criminal organizations. So how best to combat it but to invest in a task force with a supercar as their secret weapon? Much like another item on this list, the main inventor is an African American in a wheelchair. But instead of being wealthy, he's relying on city funding for his project. The Viper is a car that might remind some of Ket from Knight Rider, but with weapons in place of an artificial intelligence. This series ran for 4 seasons from 1994 to 1998. Now, some may say this is recent enough that it might not count, but it was over 15 years ago, and with the advancement of technology, it could be a great remake. There is a world, just beyond now, where reality runs a razor-thin seam between fact and possibility, where the laws of the present collide with the crimes of the future. Patrolling these vast outlands is a new breed of lawman, guarding the fringes of society's frontiers. They are known simply as Highwaymen. Driving high-tech trucks with various tools and weapons, they fight crime and seem to have legal powers above those of normal police force. The series has the feel of being set in a post-apocalyptic world, with long stretches of just deserted roads. This was a very short-lived series, running from September 1987 to May of 1988 with a whopping 9 episodes. This show was like a mix between Mad Max and Knight Rider. The idea of vast secretive law enforcement agency roaming the apparent wasteland, it brings up the idea of society crumbling, but there are still people fighting against the chaos. Adding in even more advanced vehicles and weapons, this series would be interesting to see being redone. The public seems to be quite happy with well-done post-apocalyptic scene and rough and tumble characters trying to make things just a little bit better. Now, this is one series that many might not think of, or even remember. A parody of the Dirty Harry style cop, he is quick to shoot, disrespectful of his superiors, and absolutely despises criminals of any kind. Running from 1986 to 1988, this series struggled with ratings due to its poor time slot, running against Dallas and Miami Vice. The show had a weekly viewership of 19 million people that followed the show through many time slot changes. By the second season, it was causing issues when it poked fun at another ABC show, Mr. Belvedere, and the idea of colorizing old black and white shows. In response, ABC moved the show's time slot again, putting it up against The Cosby Show, which was known to kill any series of the time. The fact that they could take a very standard idea, that of a cop on the edge, and turn it into an enjoyable, quirky comedy shows that the series had a good writer and proper execution. Sometimes what people really want is a completely screwball comedy that takes them away from real life. Following the adventures of a police officer and computer programmer who creates an artificially intelligent crime-fighting program capable of generating a hologram able to leave the computer world at night and fight crime. Now, due to the excessive consumption of power, Automan was not able to go out during the daytime, but was able to join with his programmer, sharing consciousness and skills while remaining invulnerable. This was a show that ran from 1983 to 1984, only having 12 episodes aired, though there were 13 made. The idea is kind of a reverse Tron and very revolutionary for its time. Besides the nostalgia credit, the idea is something that we haven't really seen much of and has a lot of possibility. Again, the advances of video technology can help push this series past the audience's resistance to an iffy look and can really focus on the growing exchange between computers and humans. A mild-mannered, wealthy, though let's be honest, is there really any other kind? Dr. Hawkins is an unlikely superhero. He was shot in the spine during a riot and is now paralyzed from the waist down. After losing a lawsuit against the officer he holds responsible, he uses his resources to invent a power exoskeleton allowing him to walk again and give him super abilities. He becomes the vigilante known as Mantis, which stands for Mechanically Augmented Neurotransmitter Inception System, which obviously is not advertised. The sci-fi series aired for only one season on the Fox network between August 26, 1994 and March 3, 1995. The idea was solid, but the ratings just weren't there. This is a perfect example of a series that could be really good if done right. Especially with the advancements of special effects of modern television. Being an African-American superhero and the cause of his paralysis, I wouldn't be surprised if this show gets remade pretty soon. So those are our 5 picks for older series that we would like to see remade. What shows would you like to see remade? How long do you think we should wait before a remake is done? And which of the listed shows would be your pick for the first to be remade? Leave a comment down below and let us know what you think. Also, remember to stay tuned every Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time for another 5 Count Friday. And as always, thank you very much for watching and stay tuned for more from Ollamh Productions. Cheerio! Instead, the main character is Connor, a tanner, painter, and knight of Daventry. Also, it was not a standard adventure game. It was more like a third-person RPG adventure.
You think you can trust me?
Oh! You know what to do.
Object really far. Okay.
Let's get into the store.